Hello, hello, hello. All right, there's the volume for that. And what about the desktop volume? What's that on? Oh, we don't want that. Let's try that. Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's try this again. It's always something.
The Sunday sermon, everyone. This is Brother Derek, Minister Brother Derek. And, I want to come to you and I want to tell you things that you can use and things that'll get you to have a connection with Jesus and God. So I wrote this. So I hope y'all enjoy it. So let's get to it. St. John wrote that Satan accuses us believers before God day and night. The Lord depends on us to do what is right. But our flesh is not up to stand alone. We lean on Jesus so that we're no longer prone. See, if you're slack, you're vulnerable to attack. In many ways, men today are slaves to the greediness of his flesh. Money, women, and cars. Sports, pornography, and bars. But these are the things that God hates. So he separates and chastises us to we change our ways, humble ourselves, and pray. Remember, the house on the hill, you can't take it with you yet. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you yet. Those stocking dollar bills, you can't take it with you yet. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace and I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, you're free or race. By believing in Jesus, we're all going to the same place. And that's good to know that God loves us all, black and white, short or tall. He only asks us when you are like him. Then you won't want to sin. Let God into your heart and make a fresh start. You have a clean slate. Jesus' blood makes you pure in God's eyes. So stay vigilant and keep the evil at this world at a distance. Ignore the devil's resistance. Keep hoping that you slip. He chips away at your faith and rip away from God's grace. But when the Jesus will mediate on your behalf. The devil has many demons on his staff. Skies are shouting things in your ear, chipping away at your self-esteem while you daydream. So be alert, sit close to the Father, and tell Satan and his army, man, don't even bother. But I say this, that house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stocking dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart, your thoughts, and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace. I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Your credo race by believing in Jesus. We're all going to the same place. People are talking about struggling, saying life is hard, rough, you got to be tough. But there's nothing harder than standing up for God. Evil is rampant. Even in our nation today, morality is gone. That's why our society says no right or wrong. Fulfill your wants. Go along with the crowd. Fulfill the wrath of that tongue. This country's going to hell of a you're labeled a fanatic, a Bible quoting, scripture quoting do-gooder who's living in a fantasy world, waiting for a heaven that never comes. But God's will be done. You can't stop it. You're on the wrong side. Swallow your pride and humble yourself. Ignore the traps of this world. Study the word and let the knowledge unfurl. Because I'm telling you, that house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stocking dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. wish you peace, and I wish you well. This is Minister Brother Derek, and this is the new theme song for the Sunday sermon in the Bible study. Peace, everybody. Much love to you.
All righty.
Welcome to the Sunday sermon,
Hold
everyone.
on.
This is
Yeah.
Brother Derek.
All right. I played the wrong song,
Brother Derek.
and it won't go off. Okay. All right, y'all. I fell asleep, and it's late. Let's go ahead and get this over with. As usual, I asked somebody how was the volume, and as usual, I can't get no response, no help from y'all. Y'all only comment on the stuff that don't really matter. So let's just do this quick, because we got till 12 o'clock. So let's just get it in and get it out. Our topic today is something that we've been covering a lot. And I'm not going to show you it because I don't want to see it. And I don't want you to see it. I'm going to tell you what I think. And then we're going to look at some verses and we're going to see if the Bible matches up with what I say. I've been saying this for years. Evil grows when good people don't do nothing. And our topic today is, when you see evil around you, are you supposed to step up and face it, or are you supposed to cower away and wait and see if God handles it? This is our topic today. There's so much crime going on right now. And as we watch these videos, you see people are there, but they take out their cell phones and they start recording. They don't do anything. Then they talk to the news crew when they get there. So you see something going on and you don't do anything. You got the effort to record it. You got the effort to talk to the news crews. You want to go out and march afterwards. Why don't you do anything while it's going on? This is a conundrum because a lot of people believe that you're not supposed to do anything, that you're supposed to just sit back and let God handle it. I don't have that view. And I think this is why I clash with a lot of people. I believe if you see something going on, that you should ask God to give you the strength to do something about it. Instead of just, I think that you should make an attempt. Gigi, I'm about to get you out of here. We're not going to talk about that person. So if you're trying to get me riled up, you ain't going to do it. That's what you want. See, they're that evil. I gave instructions to my people earlier today. If anybody mentions that person, to get them out of here. I don't see them blocked. That's why you can't depend on people. You lean on Jesus and God. There's 4 people here. So I guess that means I'm going to have to do it. I'm not going to block him, but I'm going to take out that comment. There you go. Now, as I was saying, do you believe that when evil is in full effect around you and you see it, do you have a responsibility to intervene, or do you sit back and let it happen? If you hear somebody in trouble, do you go see what's going on? Or do you just turn your TV up louder so you can't hear the screams? You see somebody you know being beat up and you walking by. Do you try to intervene? Or do you take out your phone and start shouting World Star and start recording it? This is a very important question. We're going to look at some Bible verses to see what the Bible says. I normally don't tell you what I say. I normally tell you what the Spirit tells me to say. But I'm going to give my opinion. And this is my opinion. This is the Rev's opinion. If you see something going on and you can go out there and stop it and you don't, then you condone it. If you allow evil to go on in front of you and you make no attempt to stop it, you are saying it's okay. You are saying that it's okay, that you don't mind it. You know, if you see a grown man constantly around a child he's not the father of, and you don't question it, you condone it. When you see the drug boys on your corner and you see them selling the little kids and you don't say nothing, you condone it. And if you condone it, that means you agree with it. Now, some verses in the Bible says, do not repay evil with evil. Some other verses say you're supposed to stand up for those that can't speak. You're supposed to stand up for the widows. So where do you draw the line? If you see evil happening around you, are you going to sit back and just let it happen? Because a lot of times, God is waiting for somebody to stand up so he can show his power through that person. But if everybody is, if everybody is, all right, looks like we got another person that's trying to interrupt. Don't have no comment on the topic, but you want to come talk about something stupid. And we know who this is. Let's move that comment. Does anybody have an opinion on what I'm talking about? Anybody have an opinion on what I'm talking about? When you see evil going on, are you supposed to sit back and watch? Are you supposed to take your camera out? Or do you ask God to give you the strength to stop it? I believe personally that you should ask God to give you the strength to stop it. Because I believe those that can should help those that can't. Those that are strong should look out for the weak, not beat up on them. Those that have connections should use that to help somebody that's not well connected. There's a reason that you're given blessings from God. There is a reason why God gives you blessings. But if you don't use them, what good are they? I've got so many videos up telling you how to clean up your neighborhoods. Don't nobody watch them. So many videos telling you how to go fix your schools so your kids and grandkids get a good education. Nobody watches them. We do a roast video, people come watch. What? Let's understand that. So you like evil. You love the devil. You love his confusion and his drama. You love that. How do you think you're going to heaven? Everybody wants to see a fight. Nobody wants to be in one. There should never be a fight. Why do people fight? Because they got nothing more to say. Increase your vocabulary. Increase your exposure. You won't have to get mad and fight. Control your temper. Control yourself. There's no need for you to put your hands on another person. I believe that if you put your hands on another person, you should be took off this planet. But see, you like it. You like to see people fight. You like to hear people argue. You like the drama. Then that means that you like the devil. You like the devil more than you like God or Jesus. We ain't got to do no dancing around. We ain't got to have no singing and no band playing. I'm laying down the facts to you. And I'm asking you for your opinion. What do you think? Before we get to these verses and see what the Bible says, what do you think? I told you what I think. I think if you see something going down and you don't do nothing about it, you condoning it. You might as well go ahead in there and hurt the person too. Because that's what you're doing. You are quietly saying, go ahead. You'll sit there and watch somebody get beat to death. You'll sit there and watch somebody get shot. You'll just sit there and look. Then you want to talk about it with everybody that listen. You want to go on social media and talk about it to anybody that'll listen. Really? Is that what God wants you to do? Is that what Jesus would want you to do? I believe that you should ask God for the power to go out there and help people, to help them, not just to help yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on World Star and get a million views. You're trying to profit off of somebody else's pain. You condone it. You approve of it. You like it. As long as it's not somebody that you care about, you good with it. Anytime you pick up the paper and you see that somebody has been killed, there should be a march. Well, then there be marches all day. Then maybe people will stop killing. Maybe they will find another way to handle their disagreements rather than killing somebody. If you see something, you should report them and get that person arrested. Then maybe people will stop killing each other. But you won't help the police get these criminals off our street. Anybody that does crime should be exiled from the community. You sit there and talk to them like they're your best friend. Because he ain't bothering me, so he's good. These are the things that I bring up. Does anybody have an opinion on this topic before we go see what the Bible says? Anybody have an opinion? Let's take a look at some verses here. Dealing with evil people. Romans 12:19. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. Never avenge yourselves. People take this to say, this is an excuse to do nothing. The person that's being abused, that's being beat, if they could avenge it themselves, they wouldn't be getting beat up. But what about the people that's standing there watching? What about the people standing there watching? You don't think that God will give them the strength to save you? See, avenge means afterwards. After it happens. I'm not talking about after it happens. I'm talking about while it's happening. See, you don't see that in here. It doesn't say while it's happening. You should sit there and just let the person get killed or get beat up or get robbed or get raped. It doesn't say that. It says after. You shouldn't go after. So the people that's there are within the right to stop this from happening. But if you don't stop it from happening, then God says, I will repay. But if you ask him for the strength, there is no avengement because somebody will stop it from happening. There's no need for you to come back. No need for you to go home and get a gun. No need for you to follow the person around and wait for a good time to attack them. If you stop the violation at the time, there is no need for somebody to come back and do something. Do you understand? See, you got to learn how to read in between the lines when you're looking at scripture. You just can't read it. Because vengeance is somebody coming back later to repay. But when it was happening, what were the people that were sitting there looking? What were they doing? Chances are they were doing nothing. Let's keep going. Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent. That's a nice little verse right there. And this is another verse that people use as an excuse not to do nothing. The Lord will fight for you, and you only have to be silent. You know, I've been in 51 fights in my life that I've counted. 51. Out of 51, I've only lost 4. The 4 that I've lost, I didn't pray to Jesus and God for strength. The 4 that I lost, one of the 4, I was actually winning. For somebody else, a friend of the person I was fighting, was trying to stab me with a knife. And I said, all right, enough of this. Now, the guy was hiding behind a pole and was trying to stab me. What kept him from just running up and stabbing me? The knife he had was old and rusty. Looked like he got it from a junkyard or something. If that rust would have got my bloodstream, it would have took me down. And it was actually 4 guys that he had with him. But why was the guy hiding behind a pole and swinging the knife out like a girl? Why didn't he just run up and stab me from behind? I was focusing on the dude. I wouldn't have known he was behind me. Jesus and God kept him from doing it. So even though you would say because I said stop, enough is enough, that I lost that fight, the fact of the matter is I could have lost my life. Because had I been stabbed and been laying down there bleeding, none of you bums is going to help me out. None of you wouldn't even call an ambulance. But you'll sit there and film it though. You'll film it on your phone. I don't consider it a loss. because I could have lost my life. Me and that dude never fought again. We became cool. But a couple years later, two of his friends that I didn't know came up. And one of them said, "Oh, look at them. They got security here." And the dude actually patrolling. And the guy said, you ain't got to worry about him. My friend had a fight with him. That dude didn't know that was 2 years ago. And that was my first fight on that job. That dude didn't know that, yes, I conceded and walked away after almost getting stabbed. But the dude didn't know that I was 26-1. That I was on a 26 fight win streak. And the dude was like, yeah, let's go mess with him. And I'm already reaching for my weapons. And the guy was like, nah, man, come on, let's just go. Something told the guy to tell the other guy, come on, let's go. Well, why wasn't the devil in both of their ears and both of their minds telling them, yeah, let's go make an example? One wanted to, one didn't. But the one that didn't won out, because that was Jesus and God. One protected me, but two protecting them. Because they would have came over and they would have got the crap beat out of them. There were so many people who told me, I love how you patrol this place. I love how you make it safe so we can come here. But those people will never help you, no matter how bad. They won't help you. They will accept your help. But when you need it, they won't return it. This is why evil is allowed to thrive and grow in our communities. Because people don't get involved. They don't. There was a dude that came up, and the dude had a rifle. I didn't know it wasn't the whole rifle. I just saw a rifle. And he told me he was going to blow my brains out. I told him, get off the property. He started to raise that. Because he had it behind his back, but I could see the brown sticking out of it. I maced that dude, and I went to chase him, and he took off. And I made the mistake. You supposed to wait a second. But this dude was 6'5" and had long legs. I knew I would never catch him. But I knew that pepper spray will wear off in 20 minutes and that he'd be back with that rifle. And I went to go chase him to get that rifle. It turns out that it was a rifle, but it wasn't put together all the way. But I saw the wood, because he had it behind his back. I saw the wood sticking out. And when he went to bring it around, I maced him. And I went to chase him. I was going to beat the crap out of him. See, dudes that 6'5", they got reach. That's the reason why tall heavyweights make money. Very few people come around like Mike Tyson that's like 5'10". The majority of tall heavyweights win because they got their reach. They can actually throw a jab at you. You block it. They can take 2 steps back and be out of your range of you hitting them, but they can hit you. That's why they were successful. I was going to get this dude a chance. I chased him across the street, and I broke my rule. Spray and wait for the cloud to disappear, and I ran right through it. And even with my contacts in, I got stuck on the other side of the street and couldn't see how to get back across. A lady whose sons was always causing trouble on the property. One of her sons who I body slammed. With all the people that was there, because it was busy at that time, the woman who should have the most problem with me, she came and helped me across the street. I couldn't even see. The woman who should have the most problem with me came to my aid. But all those customers that pat me on the back and thank you, Brother Derek, and you keeping the store together and you just doing great things, they didn't do nothing. And this is my point. So you telling me that out of the 30 people that was there, that Jesus and God had to find somebody. Jesus and God had to find somebody who didn't like me, who didn't like what I did to her son. That's who they had to go find to come help me. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Is it making sense? Or are you just letting it go in one ear out the other? A fool gives full vent. Go sit down, baby. A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. What does this verse mean? A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. A fool wears his emotions on his sleeve. A fool can't keep himself in check. You can trigger a fool and they don't know how to control themselves. They lose it. But a wise man can hear these things and logically process them and say, you know what? It's not even worth it to say anything back to this idiot. Which is going to make the fool kirk out even more. Because you're not giving the fool what they want. The fool wants your attention. But if you don't give it to them, they don't know what to do. They lost. They don't know what to do. There is no peace for the wicked. Wicked people are not peaceful. They don't have peace. You remember I told y'all last week about being stable. One of the advantages of being stable is that you have peace in your life. You don't have a lot of strife, a lot of calamity. People that are evil and wicked, they always got something going on. They always got some drama. They buried in it. They always worried at night. Staying up trying to plot. How am I going to get out of this, or how am I going to do this? They don't have sleep. They don't have sleepful nights. They have sleepless nights. Why would anybody even want to be wicked? I'd rather be stable. James 1:19-20. Know this, my beloved brothers. Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. For the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. I've always remembered this verse. Don't remember the name, but I remember this verse. Notice, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. This verse is why Brodero cannot be out roasted. Because even my alter ego knows the power of this verse. Be quick to hear. That means get the information. Hear what the person is saying. Be slow to speak. Wait for the dummy to say something stupid. And then when you do speak, beat him upside the head with it. Slow to anger. When you get angry, you're not you. You're somebody else. And you say stupid stuff and you do stupid stuff that you normally wouldn't do when you're not angry. And it's easy for you to get caught slipping. For the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. A lot of y'all have problems with Brodero because you expect Brodero to be a punk. And you want to think, well, it's still minister or reverend, so I should be able to punk him. But he won't let you punk him. And when you try your little baits, it don't work. You know why it don't work? Because of this verse. Be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. 2 Timothy 3:1-5. But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty, for people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. Avoid such people. Lovers of self. That means you only care about yourself. Screw everybody else. Lovers of money. Self-explanatory. Proud. Arrogant. Self-explanatory. Abusive. Disobedient to their parents. Remember, in biblical days, if you disagreed, if you disobeyed your parents, you were beaten in the town square in front of everybody. If you did something really bad, they would stone you to death. But now I ain't paying you no mind. Oh, sit your old butt down. Back then, that would have got you killed. Today, people laugh at it. Back then, that would have got you killed. Ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, full of yourselves, lovers of pleasure, rather, go sit down, Davy, rather than lovers of God. Lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. Let me say that again. Lovers of pleasure. What is pleasure? Sex, food, entertainment, fun, gambling. These are pleasure. Things you find pleasurable. Some people find it a pleasure to fight and argue. You love these things rather than love God. And this is where it gets dangerous, especially when you get around church people, supposed church people, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. I want y'all to check that out for a second. Having the appearance. See, I don't need the practice. I'm pretty good at breaking down scripture. Having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. See, you got people that like to dress up and look all polished. You got people that like to try to speak well. People that use phrases like glory and hallelujah and praise Jesus. But then you watch what they do. Their actions does not match the look. Let it marinate. Their actions do not match the look. I don't own a suit. I got dress shirts and I got some slacks, but I don't have a suit. Never really desired one. Maybe I'll get a sports coat one day, but I never had a desire. Y'all understand? Never had the desire to go get a suit. Because having a suit on doesn't make you a man. It doesn't. Because if you're an idiot with a suit on, you're an idiot with a suit on. It can be Armani, whatever. Bill Blast, whatever. The clothes don't make you. You make the clothes. You know, somebody can get a brand new Lamborghini. Somebody can get a brand new Maserati. But if they can't drive, they're going to wreck the car. The car doesn't make the person. The person makes the car. Do y'all understand? If you are a lousy individual, no matter where you at, no matter how you dress, no matter how much money in your pocket, you still a lousy individual. And that's the reason why I'm hard to out-roast. Because I don't care about what you got. I don't look at who know you. I look at you and I break you down. You, because you don't change. Your situation might change. You might lose your job. You might get a better job. You might get evicted from your house. You might get another one. You might crash a car or get stolen. You get another one. But the one thing that don't change is the person, their demeanor, their behavior, their lifestyle. It don't change. Whatever you did yesterday, you're going to do today. Whatever you did today, chances are you're going to do it tomorrow. Judge a person by what they do. So somebody can look good, but you got to watch what they do. You know, I used Creflo Dollar as an example earlier. A man that looked real good in the suit. He looked nice and polished and he can speak well. But then when you look at how they got metal detectors at the church, you have to show ID. Some of his churches, you got to give your social security number to get in. You got to have a credit card. He's asking you for a $65 million plane. Look at the action. He might look good in that suit, but look at the action. Look at the behavior. Does the suit cover the bad behavior? Oh, did you hear about what Creflo Dollar did? Yeah, I heard, but he looks so good up there. He sounds so good up there. You know, I overlook it. Really. Stop overlooking and start calling things out. You don't have no problem coming here and calling me out over stupid stuff. But you let these people get away with all kinds of stuff and you never call them out. Fix yourself before you start talking about somebody else. That should be on a t-shirt. Fix yourself before you start talking about or worrying about somebody else. You should avoid those people. Let's continue on. Ephesians. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you. Put it away from you. When people talk about you, you know it's not true. The people that's around you know that it's not true. Why do you care about what people who don't know you, who are not around you, who are not supportive of you? Why do you care what they think? I'm asking the question. Why do you care what they think? There's a lot of big YouTubers. They have a lot of followers. Every once in a while they come in here and they make fun because we might only have 5 people in the chat. They'll make fun of that. They think they're gonna bother me. But if I got 5 people that can listen to somebody teach them something, why do I care about somebody else having 200 people in the chat and they gotta act like a daggone fool? They're not being themselves. They putting on an act. When they themselves, guess what? They got 5 people watching them. Let them marinate. When they act a fool, they got 200 people watching them. When they be themselves, they got nobody watching them. So why should I get mad? How can you come over here and tell me, but when they do the same thing that I do, nobody watches them? That's why they don't do it. But if Rodero come out, the numbers jump up. Why? Because the people want to see drama. People that are watching YouTube, the majority of them don't have no life. Not all, but the majority of them, because you see it. They can't wait to see who you going to talk about. They can't wait. So they can jump in. And now their life has a little light in it now. They got something to do. What took you so long to come on? You know my life was boring. I need you to come in here. I remember I was in one chat and somebody came in at the beginning and they said, all right, who we going to jump on tonight? Been waiting for you to come on all day. Like, what the heck? You've been waiting for somebody to come on all day so you can come in and jump on somebody. That means you ain't got no life. See, you can watch the behavior. You don't have no life. You waiting for somebody to come on so you can come on and you want to know who they going to talk about so that you can jump in and talk about them. I don't want you around me. You a loser. And there's a lot of them on YouTube like that. They got no life. Coming in somebody's chat and talking about somebody who you don't know is the highlight of your day. Really. And then you come over here and think that you're going to rattle me when I know you a joke. You a loser. At least I'm trying to do something over here. All you want to do is sit around and talk about people you don't know to make yourself feel better. You wait all day for somebody to come on just so you can get in the chat and talk about somebody. I just find it irking. People get so excited. Can't wait to talk about what Tommy did. Can't wait to talk about what Chucky said. Can't wait to talk about Drew Freeman and shot a hole in the floor. They can't wait. They ain't got no life. Why you think you impressing somebody? You're not. You're not impressing me. You're not impressing somebody that walk with Jesus and God. There's too many things to do in a day. But you sitting around waiting for people to come on just so you could jump on the bandwagon. Just so you can have some spark in your life. That's why I find people funny. dude in the wheelchair up in everybody's chat running his mouth. You know why he running his mouth? Because he can't run in real life. Get all excited. Can't run. People get themselves titles. And they come on YouTube and act like somebody who they not. How many YouTubers do you say come on and say they came on to do stuff for the community to make a difference? They're not going to do none of that beefing. And then you turn around and their whole channel ain't nothing but beefing. Because don't nobody want to do anything. Don't nobody want to be positive. They want negativity. They want negativity. I want y'all to understand. I'm not here to entertain them people. I'm here to teach. I'm here to preach. I'm not here to entertain you. That's what Dave Chappelle's for. Go watch some Eddie Murphy. Go watch one of them comedians if you want to be entertained. Go listen to that man mess up songs if that's what you want to hear. But don't come over here. I can do my show without a chat. Because I'm here to teach and to bring knowledge. When you're in a classroom, there's one person speaking. That's the teacher. So it doesn't bother me if nobody's in the chat speaking. Maybe that means they listening. Strange concept for YouTube, isn't it? Because everybody's talking. But who's listening? Let's go to 1 Peter 38:18. Finally, all of you have unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. Do not repay evil for evil or reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, bless. For to this you are called, that you may obtain a blessing. For whoever desires to love life and see good days, let him keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. Let him turn away from evil and do good. Let him seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayer. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. So once again, unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, a humble mind. These are what you consider boring. These are signs of somebody that's stable. Can I say that again? Everything in that first sentence is today considered boring. You should want to be boring. You should pray to be bored. Because the fact of the matter is, YouTube is full of people who don't have any of these things. But they're boring, but in a bad way. They're boring in a bad way. The only way they can get any kind of excitement is to dump on somebody else. That makes them boring. They're one-dimensional. They're boring. That's what's boring. When you don't have nothing going on in your life that's exciting. And when I say exciting, I mean that you progressing towards something. You're reaching for something. If you have to do a show, because I remember back in the late 70s, early 80s, when rap was starting out, older people were very resistant to it. And that's what makes the young people pick it up to irk their parents. But you had a lot of good rappers that told good rhymes. You had Young MC. You had the Fresh Prince, Will Smith. They were called kiddie rappers. Why were they called kiddie rappers? They were called kiddie rappers because most of their songs were positive. People don't want to hear positive. But I remember one of the greatest songs of that time period was We All in the Same Game. A video talking about gangbanging was one of the biggest hits of the early 80s. I remember when NWA came out in the 90s. People said that it was positive because it talked about police violence and it brought it out there. But it had an opposite effect that nobody talks about. It actually brought the fears that white people had about black people and amplified it. Because now you got people bouncing around, acting like monkeys, acting out the way that their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents said that black people was nothing but a bunch of monkeys. They violent, they're ignorant, they cursing, they'll rape your white women. They brought that image to life. To where somebody was like, well, I look at, my grandparents said that this is what they do, but they seem pretty cool to me. But then you made it the lifestyle to promote it. And now you don't understand why Rodney King could get beat up or why George Floyd could have a knee in his neck. Because you put the image out there that we the baboons that they've been saying we've been for 400 years. Instead of fighting that image, you're embracing it. Yeah, I'm an N. You embrace it. You embrace the image. You have embraced it. You don't fight the image. You embrace it. And then when a cop gets scared, because he ain't tased you, he ain't beat you with the billy club and you still coming at him, and he shoots you 10 times, You ain't had to shoot nobody 10 times. Well, when you showing that you a superhuman, that you's a gorilla, why not? But you put the image out there. I used to drive for the airport, and I would pick up foreigners, and they would be scared to get in the car. Be like, hey, random. People would be scared to get in the car because they would see the black skin. But then they would see my face, and then they would go, well, he might be a nice one, and they get in the car. I was like, why were you scared to get in the car? Oh, I thought you was one of them black hooligans. You know, I see the movies. So while you sitting here thinking that, yeah, we got gangster movies, yeah, the white folks letting us make drug movies and everything, the people around the world are seeing these movies and they think we animals. They scared of us. Some of them will shoot us on sight if we come up in their country. But you think you're doing something. See, but the youth of the day, they go in these Muslim owned stores and they don't understand why when they come in there, the Muslim people raise up. Why you following me around the store? Why are you looking at me? They waiting for you to do something so they can take you out. They waiting for you to do something so they can take you out. Because they watch the movies. They see how you act on the street. And when you come in their place, they not going to put up with it. They waiting to take you out. You walking around thinking they scared of you. They not scared of you. They waiting to take you out. Some people come from countries where if you steal something, they cut your fingers off. They come from countries, you don't get no table and get an injection or get an electric chair. They put you out in front of everybody and 10 people shoot you to pieces. You think these people are scared of you? They're not scared of you. They waiting for you to do something. Because they expect it. And it's because of the things you do. It's because of what you put out there. That when you walk in the room, they waiting for you to do something. I remember I walked into a store one time and the Korean man followed me through the store. I turned to him and I said, I'm sorry for disappointing you. But I pulled out a billfold and I said, I don't need to steal anything from out of here. Can I make my purchases and leave, please? But if you're going to follow me around, here, hold this. I'm getting that. And hold this. I'm getting that. And you can hold this too. See, rather than meet the aggression with aggression, I made him feel silly and eased his mind. The next time I went in there, he said, hey, Brother Derek, how you doing? And he didn't follow me around. See, I had to kill the image that the other people brought on. I had to overcome it. Why couldn't I just be myself walking in the store Why did I have to overcome the image? Are we each other's keeper? Yes, we are. Because when you go somewhere and you act a fool, you make people think that we all act a fool. And the fact that people who act a fool are the people that get the most attention, that shows that there's something wrong with us. You know, when I got off earlier, I watched the Raston from Monday. And they had that dude Bad Bunny on there again. And he got a Grammy for Best Latin Solo Artist. Now, I don't speak Spanish, but I seen the dude perform at the pay-per-view last month. And all he did was bounce around the stage that they're going to book a T song. I didn't get it. But that's me. I didn't get it. But he appeals to people. I don't get it. But just because I don't get it doesn't mean I'm going to downgrade him. But I can honestly say I don't understand what he talking about. He looked like somebody just jumping around the stage. He reminds me of a Latino Flavor Flav. You know, he bounced around with the clock and all that. That's what he reminded me of. He reminded me of Flavor Flav. Maybe that's why they like him. I didn't get it. Hey RE, how you doing? But our topic today is, if you see something going down and you don't do anything, you condone it. If you see evil going on and you don't correct it, you condone it. Now RE just came in the chat. A lot of people say, didn't you and RE have a problem months ago? But I'll say to you, when somebody was lying on my baby girl, who stood up and said something? None of my people stood up and said anything. Nobody said nothing, but RE did. Nobody said anything. Y'all all knew that was a lie. Nobody corrected the woman but RE. And she lost her channel because of it. To this day, nobody has said anything. And when I bring it up, nobody got a comment. Nobody will take it seriously. But all they say is, you keep coming against that woman. So you allow evil to deviate amongst you because you like the drama. Just let that marinate. That person brings that family up all the time. But I mentioned them, you want to come in here and troll me. But she mentions a 39-day-old baby that died of SIDS. Now somebody just corrected me. Somebody else did go, tell her. And I'll have to go look that up. But when you let evil hang around you, sooner or later it's going to bite you. And when it do get you, you're going to look for help. And there's going to be none. Because when somebody else was getting bit, you didn't do anything. So why should anybody come help you? When you were getting bit, nobody's going to help. So now when you see somebody else getting bit, well, it's their turn. So you allow the evil to thrive. When you see somebody getting killed right in front of you, and the police come and ask you who did it, you say, I didn't see nothing. Well, I saw the video and you was down there kneeling, holding their hand. Well, I didn't see nothing. That wasn't me. You got the blood on your clothes. That wasn't me. You got blood on your hands. That wasn't me. Here's your phone that you left when you set it down to attend to them. That's not my phone. It got your picture on it right here. No, I don't know nothing. When you do that, you allow evil to survive. And it's going to strike again and again and again and again and again. Instead of saying, I'm going to wait and see what God going to do about it. If you in the moment, why can't you ask God to give you the strength to handle it right now? Give me the strength to let me stop this. Let me do something. Because see, the devil uses the scripture I read earlier about avenging to convince you not to do anything, because he don't want you to do anything. Because when good stands up to evil, evil got to run. When good people stand up against evil, it'll put up one little fight, and then it don't work, it run. It'll run. And it'll regroup and try to come back again. That's why you must crush it, so it cannot come back. I tell you this many times, because I saw this movie as a young man. It's called Shaka Zulu. And I encourage you to go watch it. Now, the only reason that I seen it was because my older cousins, the African women didn't wear bras, that they had their breasts out. And that's why they watched the movie. I was watching the movie because that's what they had on TV. But I was listening to the movie, not just watching the women. They was watching the women. And when it came, there was nobody breast not shown, they would fast forward the movie. They would literally fast forward the movie. But Shaka Zulu was running with his mother, his grandmother, and his sister. And his grandmother died while they were going up a mountain slope. She just passed out and died. And Shaka Zulu was looking down at her. And he said, this is the last time we run. Because they were being chased by his father, the king, soldiers, to bring him back so they could kill him. But they had to kill him because of the voodoo doctor in a special way. He said this is the last time we run. Because if you let your enemy live, he will come again at your throat. And I tell y'all this over and over again. If you let evil survive, it will come back again and again and again. That's why I don't like Marvel Comics. I don't like DC Comics. Because they teach you when you catch the Joker, just lock him up. But he always escaped. When you catch Lex Luthor, just lock him up. And he always escaped. You always try to capture these people, but you don't put them down. If nothing else, defang them. If you know you got a child molester, cut off his penis. But no, you want to house them, then let them back out, and they molest another child. You don't finish them, or you don't defang them. If we get back into the biblical way of dealing with people, we will start to crush evil. But instead, we let evil run the world. Evil runs the world. 1% of the population of this country runs the whole country. 1%. 1%. When you hear of a neighborhood, who run the streets? 1%. It's usually a gang or organization, but they're only 1% of the people in that neighborhood. Why is that? Because the other 99% of the people don't do anything. They don't rise up and crush them. They allow them to rule. Nobody can rule you unless you allow them to. You have to realize that when you walk out your door to go get in your car or go walk to the bus stop, if nobody stops you on your way, they're allowing you to go freely. Because trust me, somebody is going to be coming out their house. Somebody is going to be at the bus stop. They're going to get stopped and roughed up. They're going to get stopped and get mugged. But see, they're not doing it to you right now. You don't care. But when it happens, now you want to, and this is where the avenge part come in. But now it happened to you. Now all of a sudden you want to go out there and be an avenger. If you stop it as it's happening, there's nothing to ever avenge, is my point. Some of y'all will agree. Some of y'all will disagree. But I'm telling you, if you stop evil in its tracks, it can't build up no traction. It don't get momentum. If you know that your child comes home from school and he got a jacket and you know you didn't buy it for him, you should pull him up. If your child come home with a pair of tennis shoes that you know you didn't buy for him, you should pull him up and ask him where he got it. And stay on him until he tell you. And then you make him go return it with an apology. If you allow your child to take somebody else's stuff and keep it, what's going to happen when somebody take your child's stuff? Then you all up in arms. And guess what? Don't nobody care. Because chances are, if somebody bought their child a pair of $400 Jordans the way to school, and your child take them, somebody at some point is going to take them from your child. Is what I said not true? Marcus Cannon, you need a life. Seriously, you need a life. I'm not gonna block you, but I'm gonna remove them stupid comments. You need a life, sir. Seriously. You need a life. You need a serious life. So you said that women, where were the men at? You said the women. Where were the men at? Where were the men at? Because you said you want women to fight. Where were the men? Mr. Marcus, you're not blocked. Answer the question. Where were the men at? I'm looking at the chat. Where are the men at? Why the men didn't step up and say something, sir? I'm asking you a question. Since you asked that question, let me ask you one. Where were the men at? Where were the men? Come on, Marcus, we're waiting. Why the men didn't stand up and say something? I'm asking the question. I'm listening. I didn't block it. I just took the words out. I asked you a question. You said that the women said something, and two women did. RE and NSC said that she went into her chat and told her that. Where were the men at? Answer the question, sir. We're waiting. You didn't answer the question, sir. See, why is it when I ask a question, nobody can answer it? I asked you a question. If you're not supposed to talk about people's children in this sector, why is it that when a woman called somebody a child killer, nobody stood up? I'm asking the question. Answer it, sir. Well, you brought it up. You brought the question up. How come only two women said anything? Where was everybody else at? But you interrupted my sermon and not asking me nothing about the topic. You want to bring this up. So answer the question. Answer the question. Like a man. Answer the question. We're waiting, Marcus. Answer the question. Where were you at, Marcus? Where were you at, sir? I'm asking you. Where were you at? What were you doing? Why you didn't stand up and say, hey, that's wrong. That's foul. I don't believe you told that lie. How could you go so low? That's all you got. You didn't come say nothing, did you, Mark? But you'll come in here and interrupt my sermon. You'll come in here and interrupt my sermon. But where were you at when that statement was made? Where were you at, Mark? Where were you at? See, this is why evil is so rampant in our society today, because of simps like this. This is the reason why women are afraid to work at night, because of simps like this. This is the reason why you squeeze your kids extra hard before you send them off to school. It's because of simps like this. Somebody that's supposed to be a man, but is a wimp. You'll let evil run all around you as long as it's not directed at you. That's why our country is so messed up right now. But I bet you'll go out there and march for some criminal with a daggone criminal sheet a mile long. You'll go out there and march for them, but you won't march for your neighbor that got shot. Well, he got shot by a black person. It's okay with me. He got shot by a cop. We gotta go riot. Come on, y'all. But if he got shot by somebody black, it's okay. It's okay, y'all. I know who did it, but I ain't gonna say nothing. You allow evil to run rampant. That's what our topic is today. See, we got a real topic. Other people don't have real topics. We got a real topic. And I'm asking you. You know something, Marcus? The more you talk, the dumber you sound. Seriously. Do you actually read before you hit the send button? You making yourself just look more like a simp. More like a simp. First of all, you said you got no business arguing with women. First of all, let me stop you right there. I don't believe that Marcus is a man. Because I don't think no man could be so feminine. I believe that Marcus is a woman. That's one. Two, if you bring your relatives up before anything even starts, that's not a reason to bring up somebody's child and then lie and say that you killed them. If you can excuse that, I know you're not a man. Because if you are, you're a piss poor example of one. Everything that I said about her relative, she already said. It's already out there. It's nothing new. It came out of her mouth. But for you to say that a father killed his baby, and for you to say you supported that father, you gave him money, you was on his platform, you was bigging him up, that make you sound like a horrible person. How could you support somebody who you really believed killed their own child? Come explain that, Mark. Come explain that. Come explain it. Because I know you never lost a child. I know you. I know you. Well, Marcus, see, this is where you about to lose again at. When did this start? When I cut off contact with her, that's when this started. That's when it started, sir. When I cut off contact with her. And she was doing anything to get my attention. That's what started this, sir. But you want to overlook that, right? The same way you overlook when you see somebody get hurt on your block and you see it and don't say nothing, right? The same way you overlook when something bad happened and you right there and you don't say nothing, right? You just overlook it. But when somebody stands up, now all of a sudden you want to say something to defend the criminal. Now you want to defend them. So come on, Mr. Cannon. We're waiting. We're waiting for your response. Come on and defend the evil. Come on and defend the evil. Defend it. Defend the evil. Come defend the evil. You know, somebody told me before I started the show, I told her what the topic was. And she said, "Oh, no, it's about that woman." I said, "No, it ain't. I've been doing this topic off and on for years, and I have. But guess I was wrong. People still was able to take it and apply it to this woman. But I say to you, the evil is still among you. I think the evil is live right now. How many of y'all are going to go watch The Evil? So The Evil is going to set up a channel. How many of y'all will go watch The Evil attempt to teach you religion? Attempt. How many of y'all going to learn from evil? How many? How many of y'all going to go learn from the evil? We're waiting. We're waiting. You said, hold on. Blood Up, who told you that make you a man? Don't you know that Jesus' supporters were women? Jesus' biggest supporters and donators were women. If you look at the church today, it's 70-30 women in the congregation to men ratio. What you just said didn't make any sense. You think it make you sound good, but what you just said was pure retardism. Because of the 12 disciples, were carpenters, fishermen, and one of them was a tax collector. If they following Jesus around teaching the people, none of them were earning money. So how did they eat? Who put them up to sleep? When Jesus was put up on the cross, there were more women there than men. So I'm listening to you, sir. So the comment you made sounded stupid, but you think it sounds intelligent. That just shows us that you like evil. I hope evil visits your doorstep soon. All right. Well, like I said, I gave y'all a chance to have an intelligent conversation, and obviously you won't. So let me put the phone back down and get back to my show. Okay, well then, Marcus, then why don't you call in and talk to me? Why don't you call in and talk to me? And why don't you see how you get destroyed? Call in. I'm not going to block you. I'm going to continue on my sermon, and I'm going to let you type on. Because, see, you got the energy to come in here and type, but I bet you ain't got the energy to walk outside your door and take on evil. You'll come in here and defend a crazy, psychotic woman, but you won't do a damn thing for your neighbors, for your neighborhood, for your city. You won't do nothing. But you'll come on YouTube and try to be a big shot. Yeah. Do I have you pinned down right? Yes, I do. Now, would you like to respond? Come on. Would you like to respond? I'm listening. Come on in. Come on, I'm waiting for you. See, you got these two guys who ain't got no damn life. They're sorry as a mother. They're trying to play off each other. And you think you're doing something. I'm spewing hate about what? Tell me what I said that wasn't correct. I'll listen. Matter of fact, I do you one better. Why don't you tackle one of these verses that's on the screen? I challenge either one. I challenge any of you. Tackle one of the verses. Just tackle one of the verses that's on that screen. I challenge any one of you. Tackle one of the verses. Tackle one of the verses. Tackle one of the verses that's on that screen. I'm challenging you. Tackle one of the verses on the screen. Y'all just babbling on and on. Tackle one of them verses on the screen. I'm listening. Break down one of them verses that's on the screen. We listening? Just do one. They're not hard. Break down one of the verses. Nope, you still won't do it. You're cowards. You're a coward. I'm not shucking. We in a conflict. I asked you, break down one of them verses. I'm a fake minister. Break down them verses on the screen. We'll listen. You want to challenge my prowess as a minister. Break down one of the verses on the screen. Because I think that y'all are some scrubs. I think that y'all sit in the house all day, ain't got a goddamn thing to do. You ain't got no goddamn life. But you worrying about what I'm doing. Then worry about what I'm doing. Do my job. Break down them scriptures. We're waiting. We're waiting. Break down them scriptures. I bet you can't do it. But you can't do it. Ain't nobody shucking and jiving because you haven't said anything intelligent since you've been here. You ain't said nothing. And I'm letting you go on because I want the people to see how you simps look, how sorry you is, how you make excuses for half-dead women. I want you to see. I want the world to see why the black community is in the process of sin. It's because the men won't step up. The men keep simping. The men keep making excuses. Nobody don't want to stand up. So keep showing the world. Keep on. Show them. Show them, sir. Show them. Show them. Show them. Show them. Come on. Show them how weak you are. Show how weak black men are. Go ahead. Keep showing them. Show the world. Go ahead. Keep showing the world. Show the world how weak we are. Go ahead. Keep on talking. Show the world how weak we are. Go ahead. Show them. Go sit down, Debbie. Go sit down. Go sit down. Over there. Go sit down. Come on. All right. I gave y'all a chance. I gave y'all a chance. Bye-bye. Good night. I gave y'all a chance. All y'all can do is just throw insults. Gotta get you out of here. That's all you can do. Don't have nothing intelligent to bring to the conversation. Y'all a bunch of wusses. That's the reason why the black community is in the problem it is. Somebody asks you a real question. You can't answer it. But you can talk about somebody else. But when they ask you what you really think, you're afraid to say it. You're afraid to say what you really think. And you think that you look cool. But this is what the world think of you. So keep proving it. Prove your haters right. Prove to the other races that we stupid, gullible, that we can be led around. Long as you offer some money, a little butt, or drinking some weed, we'll put up with anything. Right? Right? Am I lying? Tell me I'm lying. Am I lying? Neptune Fag is back. Let me go ahead and wheel you up out of here. Let me go ahead and wheel you up out of here. Crippled bastard. Keep on simping and keep on chimping. Y'all made my point today. It's sad. Nobody else. All right. Ain't nobody going to break down these scriptures. So, it's 1 a.m. I'm not supposed to be live right now. So I'm going to be quiet. But I'm going to play some videos. We're going to look at the news. So I'll be quiet. What's this?
Six people died in accidents involving motorcycles during Daytona Beach's annual Bike Week. A spokesperson for the Halifax Medical Center also says this year could be a record-breaking one for injuries. Last year, there were also 6 Bike Week fatalities. The year prior, in 2019, there was only 1. Katie Johnston for CBSMiami.com.
Right? Okay.
The reason I love using StreamYard.
Take that opportunity. Make sure y'all can see it. Y'all can see it. Okay. Skip ahead and go.
Right now at noon, a bicyclist taking a fatal fall today off a bridge in Miami.
The man reportedly fell nearly 30 feet to the ground. Local 10 News reporter Trent Kelly is live on the scene.
And he's there to tell us what led up to this really deadly incident. It sounds like just a terrible situation.
Yeah, awful situation out here, Christy and Janice. After speaking to several people who witnessed that fall this morning, officers tell us they now believe all of this was an accident. Victim in this case falling off the top of the Miami Avenue Bridge here behind us, all as workers were apparently attempting to lift it.
Right now, we're just considering this an unfortunate death, and it is being ruled as accident.
A major bridge in downtown Miami shut down for hours during the height of the morning commute after a man riding a bicycle fell off and plunged to his death.
Shortly after 6 a.m. this morning, our officers responded to a call of a man that appeared to have fallen from the bridge.
That bridge is the South Miami Avenue Bridge, which spans the Miami River and connects downtown Miami to Brickell. Police shutting down all lanes after discovering the man's body some 30 feet below. While the circumstances leading up to the fatal fall are still unclear, officers say witnesses seem to indicate it was all an accident.
There's a number of things that we're looking at. We're trying to see if we're able to get a hold of surveillance cameras, but indeed, we have spoken to a number of witnesses that told us that the cyclist attempted to overtake the bridge as it was opening.
Cameras rolling as detectives later and at one point seemed to be speaking to a bridge attendant as well. While most lanes were eventually reopened hours later, the bridge remains closed to all vessel and pedestrian traffic as police continue their investigation. And at last check, officers were still trying to identify that man before notifying his family. They tell us they're also attempting to review some surveillance video from the bridge itself to see if they can gather any more clues from that footage. But again, all traffic back open here at this time as police continue to investigate. As soon as we get any updates from detectives, we'll let you know. That's the latest live from downtown Miami. Trent Kelly, Local 10 News.
Now that's crazy. I don't care if you late for work. I don't care what you got going on. It's sad that somebody was in that much of a rush that they tried to jump a drawbridge. Y'all understand how crazy it is? Somebody tried to jump a drawbridge. That's just crazy. Somebody tried to jump a drawbridge. It's sad. Let's get on to our next story. It's really crazy. All right, what's next up on the hit list? I believe we right here. Come on, I know I hit you. I hit it a third time. All right, then copy the link. Come back. Go up, tap. And go. All right, can y'all see this?
A lot of new information tonight about the murders of 8 people inside spas in the Atlanta area. Initial reports raised fears of a hate crime because the suspect, 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long, is white, and most of the victims were of Asian descent. But now investigators are saying the motive may be sexual in nature. We've also learned Long headed south after the killings.
The suspect was on his way to Florida, I believe, and perhaps to carry out additional shootings. So again, it really speaks to the coordination and the quick response from law enforcement.
And News4JAX reporter Scott Johnson is joining us live. Scott, no word where he was headed in Florida, but investigators are working to find out why.
They're trying to, Mary. He was driving the interstate coming south of the Sunshine State, and a quote from an investigator is he was coming to carry out some sort of attack on a porn industry of some sort. A massage parlor massacre in Atlanta. Investigators say 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long confessed to killing multiple people in some sort of twisted attempt to eliminate temptation to his self-confessed sex addiction.
He does claim that it was not racially motivated. He apparently has an issue, what he considers a sex addiction, and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and it's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate.
There have been concerns raised about a potential motive involving the race of the victims in light of recent violence nationwide against Asian Americans.
As you know, I've been speaking about the brutality against Asian Americans for the last couple months, and I think it is very, very troubling. And but I'm making no connection at this moment to the motivation of the killer.
Investigators say, as far as they know, the massage parlors were legally run businesses, but Long, for some reason, viewed them as a temptation to his own sex addiction and felt he needed to kill anyone who fed into that. News4JAX crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson is a former sex crimes investigator. He's never seen anything like this.
I've come across all types of cases, none as bizarre as this, where a person will go on a killing spree because he, quote, has a sex habit. He is a sexual deviant.
As we said, it's unclear where in Florida he was going. He's driving south on I-75 out of Atlanta. I talked to the agency that runs the northernmost section of Florida that controls it for policing. They say they hadn't got any word that he was coming to their town in North Florida, so it's really unclear where he intended to go next. Hopefully, Georgia authorities can get to the bottom of it. We're live tonight. Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.
That's a damn shame. Daggone shame.
A lot of new information.
You got a lot of sickos out there. All right, this was from No Night by Kez.
Tonight, some small
Y'all can see it.
landlords are running out of time, cash, and options.
Under an eviction moratorium, renters affected by COVID-19 have not had to pay rent for 11 months now. They are protected for at least another 5 months under new legislation. CBS 47 investigative reporter Kara Rucker shows us that help offered to renters is hindering landlords. Kara?
Yeah, that's right, Catherine. We first introduced you to Robert Givens last month, a landlord in Merced. He is owed $17,000 in unpaid rent. He was finally forced to sell the house he was renting, and since you can't evict, he had to sell with tenants living inside, significantly dropping the value of his home.
Nobody else, butchers, bakers, candy makers, they're not required to give their services for free, but we were the landlord, so I'm going to be out of the landlord business.
This month, Robert Givens sold the home he rented out, the house he bought and lived in for 30 years, before finally renting out the home and buying a new one.
Well, it just feels terrible. You know, it was now we just have to go on, you know, just forget about it.
Givens made the decision to sell after going 11 months without being able to collect rent.
67 years old, senior citizen, disabled,
and I depend on this property for income.
That was given 2 months ago. Since then, he has gone to Sacramento to make his case, seeking help for landlords.
We're not thinking about landlords, small or big.
Senate Bill 91 passed California legislature in late January. It extends the eviction moratorium to at least July 1st. Givens says he couldn't keep waiting.
Since I made that decision to sell this property, I've had such a relief lifted off my shoulders.
Since he couldn't evict his tenants, Givens took a significant loss on the sale, $70,000 below market value.
Which they're going to inherit the tenant that they can't even get out.
Senate Bill 91 does offer this option. Landlords could be paid 80% of back rent if they forgive the other 20% of what's owed. Givens says he doesn't plan to let his former tenants skip out on paying him back.
I will be going to court to get the 100% of the money that this tenant owes me.
Under Senate Bill 91, any action to recover unpaid rent in small claims court has to wait until August 1st. Givens says he's well aware it will be a long time before he sees the $17 grand that he's owed. I'm reporting live in the studio, Kara Rucker, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
That'd be crazy if he actually won a settlement and then died the next day. That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. But that's what it's coming to. That's what it's coming to. All right. Can y'all see it? If you can.
Quick and simple scheduling app.
Hey. Skip ahead.
A man crushed to death by a car, and police think he was trying to steal a catalytic converter. This comes amid a surge in thefts of these pricey car parts. KCAL9's Jasmine Veal has that story.
This photo shows a man crushed underneath a Toyota Prius in an auto repair lot in Anaheim after police say he was trying to steal the car's catalytic converter overnight.
The jack that he used to lift up the vehicle failed, and the car came down on top of him, unfortunately crushing him and causing his death.
Police found his tools he had left behind under the car, which belongs to Wilma Rodriguez's building company.
It's just unfortunate that that situation had to happen.
Several business owners here say this is not the first time thieves have stolen their catalytic converters, which is a costly critical emissions control device that can be sawed off from the belly of a car in minutes and contains precious metals.
In recent weeks, we've had a rash of catalytic converters stolen out of the complex here.
Sean Harp was one of the first business owners to discover the man's body and call police.
What I found peculiar was that his shoes were off. It led me to believe that somebody was there assisting him and tried to pull him out, maybe.
And why a Toyota Prius? Because these converters fetch a higher price because the gas engines don't run as much, meaning more of those precious metals are still there.
It's a crime that we've seen in Southern California occurring for quite a while, but right now it does seem to be reaching somewhat more of a fevered pitch.
Just last Friday, police found a catalytic converter and power saw inside this truck after the speeding driver crashed into a Garden Grove pool, killing the two parolees inside along with an innocent driver. These stolen catalytic converters were found in Santa Monica. The parts are shipped overseas, like to China, where the price has quadrupled in the last 5 years due to demand because of stricter emission restrictions. As for this case, police are still looking for any accomplices. In Anaheim, Jasmine Veal, KCAL9 News.
And there are ways you can keep an eye on your catalytic converter. At the sheriff stations in Walnut and Diamond Bar, auto workers etched driver's license plate numbers on their catalytic converters for free today. The goal is to deter thieves from stealing the hot commodity and assist police with catching and prosecuting them.
That's a daggone shame. Catalytic converter.
Soap you
Man died trying to steal a catalytic converter. A catalyst converter. Not Cadillac. Catalyst. It's a daggone shame.
We want to start with a horrific shooting rampage in Georgia that has left 8 people dead. CBS News has learned that President Biden has been briefed on the attacks. Here's what we know so far. 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long was taken into custody. Police say video evidence led them to believe he was behind the shootings at 3 different spas in the Atlanta metro area last night. 6 of the 8
dead.
Sorry, Emery, go ahead.
Sorry, 6 of the 8 dead are said to be Asian women, but investigators have not said whether or not the attacks are racially motivated. CBS News national correspondent Mark Strassman is in Atlanta with more on this.
The shooting spree began around 5 p.m. Monday at Young's Asian Massage Parlor in Cherokee County, 30 miles north of Atlanta. 2 victims died at the scene, 2 more at the hospital. Less than an hour later, police were called to Gold Spa, an Atlanta massage parlor, where police say 3 women who appeared to be Asian had been shot and killed.
While at that location, we received another call across the street, had shots fired.
That location was aromatherapy spa, where another victim, who also appeared to be an Asian woman, died.
Which is just unfortunate. It's not really making any sense how this happens at a massage spa.
The common thread connecting the shootings prompted an Atlanta police officer to radio in this warning.
We need to make sure if we have any Asian spas, we need to be checking on them.
A manhunt began for the suspect, seen in surveillance footage driving a black Hyundai earlier in the day.
Georgia State Patrol troopers performed a pit maneuver, which caused the vehicle to spin out of control.
Officers later captured 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long, 150 miles south of Atlanta. Now, relatives of the shooting victims are left grappling over why this happened.
I was just thinking how we never know when we're at the wrong place at the wrong time, because this was so all of a sudden, and it was just like a lot of things racing through my head.
So Mark Strassman is joining us now from Atlanta. Mark, it's really good to have you here. What do we know about this suspect? And why do police believe that he's responsible for all 3 attacks? And at least at this point, it doesn't seem like they're looking for anyone else.
No, they're clearly, Emery, not looking for anybody else right now. What we know about him is frankly not much. 21 years old, lives just north of Atlanta, about 30 miles away in a town called Woodstock, Georgia. Police have linked him to all 3 crime scenes by surveillance tape, which showed his black SUV, which is a Hyundai Tucson, was at all 3 locations, and that's how they've pinned it on him. We also know that he's in custody. He'll have his first appearance in court this morning, but it's obviously so disturbing on a number of levels. And what apparently motivated him to commit these acts is of course the big question, and I don't have an answer for you there.
Yeah, Mark, as you know, and as you reported, there has been no confirmation that the shootings were racially motivated. How did police, can you just take us through what you know, how police were able to locate him fairly quickly? And he was taken in without any shots fired. I'm just curious about the details of the investigation that led police to find the suspect.
Yeah, it's a really good question. My understanding of it is, and again, we're going to hear more from police officials this morning. My understanding is that the surveillance tape was key. They looked at the surveillance tape, they found the license plate, and they finally tracked him about 150 miles south of Atlanta. They had to put the pit maneuver on him, which essentially spikes, blows up the tires. His black Hyundai spun out of control, and they arrested him. And when they did arrest him, it was without incident. So they were on him fairly quickly, which was obviously a huge relief, given the fact that we had 3 separate crime scenes, 8 people killed. And of course, what everyone was trying to avoid at that point is, let's not make this as awful as it is, let's not have it get any worse. So you're right. The good news is that within 3 hours after the shootings, they had their one and only suspect in custody.
And so what about the victims? Do we have any information about them? Have they been identified yet? What do we know?
No names. The other thing we know, Anne-Marie, is that the South Korean Foreign Ministry told CBS News overnight that 4 of the victims are Korean. But what we've been told by police, 6 of the victims were Asian women, apparently including those 4 Koreans, and then there was a white man and a white woman who are also killed. But beyond that, we don't know names. We don't know what they did at the salons, but just don't know a whole lot. But certainly expect to find out more today.
Yeah, the Stop AA.
Crazy. That's a commercial. Nope.
Because police are looking for the guy. Maybe this thief just wants to have a little cookout or something. Because police are looking for the guy accused of stealing $500 worth of fish and beer from a Stop and Shop. Suffolk County Police say this man was caught loading up his cart March 12th in the Center Reach store, but he never paid. So if you have any information on the theft, you're asked to call the Suffolk County Crime Stoppers hotline. The phone number is 1-800-220-TIPS. Katie Johnston for CBSNewYork.com.
Into a restaurant order that led to chaos, and you're about to see it all unfold. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Adrienne Moore.
And I'm Tony Lopez. As you've noticed, we're on a bit late tonight because of technical problems. Apologize for that. Now let's get right to CBS 13's Valina Jones with a fiery Wingstop confrontation caught on camera, Valina.
Well, the wings are supposed to be fiery, not the customers, but this boarded up window behind me shows where things got heated last weekend.
I don't want to wait on the kid again. Okay, so now
Cell phone video shows a man wild about wings getting upset over his order at an Antelope Wingstop last Saturday.
Either you get the food and you bought it up and stop yelling at my other manager because that's,
I was telling him to calm down. I was like, you don't want to go to jail. You don't want to go to jail.
Customer Theron Trujillo caught the violent reaction on camera of the man grabbing the register, slamming it to the ground twice before throwing it out the window.
Definitely when I seen it, I was kind of shook up a little bit. They were definitely shook up behind. The ladies behind were definitely shook up.
The manager of the Wingstop tells me the man claimed he was missing several wings and wanted a refund, which she says is not allowed under company policy for online orders. Regulars at the store who have experienced order issues in the past are stunned from the wing rack.
It's definitely shocking. A little overcompensating for 5 wings. But I mean, I understand his anger, definitely not his actions.
I feel bad for society. I think the pandemic is getting to people's heads.
Others say, angry or not, the destruction goes too far.
That's crazy. I mean, wings are important. Don't trust me. I love to eat, but it's not worth it. And I have 3 children that we go out to eat all the time, and our orders are always messed up. Guess what? You embrace it, and that's more family time for you.
An order ordeal now costing a potentially hefty price tag.
You're going to pay a whole lot more than just $12 and also may go to jail.
Now the man drove away, but the store, who is in the process of filing a police report, tells me they have all his information to track him down. Now the manager says the register cost around $6,000 to replace because of that price tag. The sheriff's office tells me they could issue a felony warrant for his arrest.
Pretty wild reaction. Belinda, thank you.
Over 5 chicken wings. I let this play.
Nearly 100 million Americans woke up this morning to find their 3rd round of stimulus payments. News4 Jax consumer investigator Lauren Verno joins us now. And Lauren, what if you didn't get your money this round?
So, Mary, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the IRS's Get My Payment tool. So this is what it's going to look like once you click the tool. It's right on the front homepage of the irs.gov website. So it has been updated only to reflect this latest round of money, that 3rd payment. So remember, the information you fill out will be based on your last taxes filed, so either 2019 or 2020. Now, what if you didn't file taxes in 2019 or 2020? I've heard that question a lot. In the past, the IRS had the non on Filer's tool. But this time around, that's not the case. The IRS urges you to file your 2020 taxes to get your money. And remember, if you make under $72,000, you can file for free on the IRS's website. Make sure you go to the IRS.gov website. Don't go to any of those other websites. It won't be free. Other reasons you may not have received your payment or the full amount expected. Well, it could be because you filed a paper return on your last taxes, you changed your home address or your bank account information, or you have new or older dependents. For instance, if you had a baby in 2020 but haven't filed your 2020 taxes yet, the IRS doesn't know you had a baby. So once you do file those taxes, the IRS says it will give you your owed money back. And for those who do not have direct deposit set up with the IRS, those payments are going to take longer. Either a payment card or check will be sent in the mail. That hasn't been decided yet. Again, if you are looking for your stimulus money, two things. The IRS says check the Get My Payment tool and file your 2020 taxes. I'm consumer investigator Lauren Verno, Channel 4, the local station.
That's 3 years ago. You can't show that. Old news.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, what's up? Ooh, the last hard lemonade seltzer. So crisp and refreshing. Anyone's?
It's Mike's.
Look at the tornado.
That's it, man. Keep on it.
Oh, look, I think I just saw it on the ground. That's the tornado right there.
Yeah, it is.
100% it is. Let me get
Alrighty, y'all. We got to see a live tornado.
They've arrested a liquor store owner after a cell phone video showed the aftermath of an altercation between that owner and a woman.
The video shows the woman bloodied and on the ground in the moments immediately after it happened. Victor Williams was at the store today as community leaders were demanding action. Victor?
This graffiti really speaks for itself. Some are calling the incident that happened here between a longtime customer and the owner racially motivated, and that's the reason why the doors are closed at this point in time.
Hit me like a man and he's scared of me.
The now viral video of Andrea Warren bleeding on the floor of Brandon's liquor store has been making rounds all across social media, sparking outrage. And because of it, the man behind the attack is now behind bars.
Everything that come together will cause him to be prosecuted and locked up.
Only the aftermath is shown in a series of videos uploaded to Facebook. Family members say Andrea was left with a broken nose.
We need to do something about the fact that they don't respect black people. That's what I get out of the whole situation.
The 50-year-old owner was just arrested today and is now waiting to be charged. We talked to the owner's wife and gave them the opportunity to speak on the matter, but they declined to comment. We're told, however, because of past incidents, Andrea wasn't allowed in the store and had to make all of her transactions from the outside. But for some reason, she was allegedly grabbed by the owner, pulled inside, and was left leaking blood. His excuse is that he was spat on.
He's a liar, and he made himself look bad.
Others are saying that's not like the owner at all.
I would go for bat to say that Sam is as far from being as racist as you can get.
Regardless of what took place, community activists with the People's Action say this shouldn't have happened, as Andrea was involved in a car accident back in the late 90s that left her with mental issues.
For you to take it upon yourself and come from behind the counter and attack someone, this woman didn't get a broken nose by accident.
And right now there's no telling how long the store is going to be closed, but we know that later on in the week there's going to be an event here with more community activists, this time in support of the owner. Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, Victor, Andrea and her family exploring what legal options they may now have.
Time for somebody to call Mr. Crump. Hold on a sec.
And we do have some breaking news just in from Detroit, where police have recovered a 7-year-old child who was in a vehicle during a carjacking. This happened at a gas station near I-75 in Warren. Tim Pamplin live at the scene where the child was found.
Yeah, this was on 75. We're at 75, just south of Clay. The police just took off from here with the child. Brenda, you saw the baby running down the street.
Yes, I did. I didn't know what was going on. He was just terrified. Terrified. I didn't know what going on. And I stopped him. He said somebody took his father's car and he was running, and I just ran in the house and got a phone quick and had him to dial the number of somebody so they could call. He could call somebody. Police was here so fast today, though. With less than like 7 minutes, they was here.
And they got that baby?
And they got the baby, and then I called, start dialing 911. But they was already on the phone talking to us. I don't know what was going on. It was just crazy.
So you found the baby. He was.
No, he ran down here, and I seen him running, and he was so upset and shaking up.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you so much.
I was like, wait a minute. I had to see what was going on with that baby.
So again, the baby has been, I say a baby, it's a 7-year-old little boy, was inside that car down at 75 and Warren when the vehicle was carjacked with a 7-year-old in the back. The driver, the person who stole the car, dropped the child off here. If you know where we are, this is the old Michigan Humane Society building, and Brenda was sitting out on her porch, saw the boy running towards her. He was freaked out. She called 911. The baby's safe. So back to you guys.
Alrighty, y'all. That's dead on shame. I don't understand why parents are so trifling. These are your babies. When you go inside, bring them with you, even if it's only for a minute, even if you're just getting gas. When you bring them babies inside, bring the babies inside. It only takes a minute. You know, I can confidently say, even though it was only 39 days, when I had my baby girl, I always took her out. When I was with women that had children, I always brought them inside with me. I would never leave them in the car. Please, parents, take your babies inside with you. Don't leave the children in the car. Even if they're a handful, train them on how to come in the store and be respectful. I know a lot of parents got kids that run around and buy me this, buy me that, and they don't want to take them in. I understand that. Trust me, I understand. It's a headache. But if somebody gets your babies and do something to them, you're never going to forgive yourself. You will never forgive yourself. It only takes a few minutes. If you're late for work, your boss will have to understand. Please take your babies inside the store with you. Do not leave them in the car. If it's a hot day, please leave your animals at home with plenty of water. Okay? Leave them at home with plenty of water. Don't take your animals out in the car and leave them in there. Seriously. All right, y'all, before we get out of here, I came across this video and I would like to do this, but I'm going to need some help. There ain't no rush on this, but I thought this was pretty cool. This could be the new way to do a mobile live. So let's take a look at this video, y'all. Just getting your opinion. Just getting your opinion on it. What? That's not what I hit. Wait a minute. We already seen that. What? Oh no. I bookmarked the wrong video. Oh no. What are we under? No. Switch account. Wait a minute, I'm trying to find a video. Okay, maybe off of this one. Is it over there? No. No. Why can't I find the video? Okay, let's try this thing. Give me the keyboard. Here it is. Yeah. All right, y'all. Check this out. I thought that this was crazy. I would love to be able to do this. 2 commercials. Anything else?
Skydio 2, and I've got the beacon, and I have my Engway electric bicycle, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. We're going to do some tracking, so we're going to put the Skydio 2 up with the beacon. I'll have my iPhone active as well, and I'm just going to ride around here. We're over at the school grounds again, and it's kind of empty, and there's a lot of trees and stuff around here, so it'll be a good test for this thing. The electric bike is pretty cool. It'll do up to 20 miles an hour in electric mode, so I don't know if we're going to go that fast, but we'll definitely run around here and see what we can do. So yeah, let's quit messing around. Let's get the Skydio up in the air and let's get going. So okay, so we got the Skydio 2, we got the iPhone connected to the beacon connected to the Skydio. Hold to take off. And it's moving around, it's looking for us. So it sees us. I'm going to move it. Okay, so we've got the Skydio in the air, and I'm going to get on the bike now, and we're just going to see how well this baby follows. Like I said, we're using the beacon here, so I've got a strap. I'm going to hold it in my hand, see if I can bicycle and hold it in my hand at the same time. So I'm going to fire up the Engway bicycle, and we're going to take off here, and let's see how well this guy does. I've got it following me to my left. I'm going to be in speed mode 1 here.
That's the bike I'm going to be getting, y'all. But he has a drone following him, and the drone knows not to hit the bushes. That is cool.
So I can't see what the drone is doing, but I can tell you I sure hear it behind me. And it seems to be moving out pretty good. Oh, this thing's phenomenal. So we're going about 11 miles an hour on the bike, and now the drone just pulled in front of me here. This thing is just outstanding. Okay, we're going to go around the school building here, and I'm going to speed up a little bit.
The drone knows to follow him. He has that remote in his hand.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can put the drone in front of me. So I moved it to the front position, and I'll be able to see it here. And it's right there. That's pretty cool. We've got a little bit of a cloudy day here today, a little bit of wind. Doesn't seem to be affecting this drone much, though, I can tell you that. So we're at speed mode 2, about 13 miles an hour. And it's moving right along to get in front of me. Now this will be a test because there are a bunch of branches here. There was a lot of trees there. Let's see if it'll catch up. I'm just going straight now.
Didn't hit the tree.
So it's
amazing.
behind me.
That's amazing.
I can hear it behind me. Yeah, here it goes. Now it's in front of me again. Yeah, that must have thrown a monkey wrench in its in the works there. This is just a phenomenal piece of technology. I'm telling you, watching this thing in action is just stunning. So I think I might have lost it completely here. Maybe not. I can hear it now. So I can hear it. It should get in front of me here again. Yeah, I can hear it above me. And there it goes. What a neat piece of tech. So it's struggling to stay in front of me because of all of these obstacles.
People were always suggesting
As soon as I give it a
that we should get a drone for the mobile lives. But I wondered, how could I ride the bike and work the drone at the same time?
I can hear it coming around, and now it's back around in front of me.
As long as you got that remote, see the remote in his hand? The drone follows the remote. And you can have it be in front of the remote, to the left or right, or the rear.
I'm going to go in a roundabout here.
And the drone knows not to hit anything.
Little schoolyard of these portable
It has sensors
rooms.
that can sense when something's in this way, and it avoids it.
Roundabout here, so we'll cruise around it.
I think that is cool, especially people like me live in a city with a lot of power lines and things in the way, traffic lights.
Okay, let's,
You know, how do you fly a
let's try
drone?
moving it to the back now. Okay, so it should be behind me now. Which it should have an easier time following me from behind. Okay. So I'm going to have it follow me from the left here. I didn't want it on my right because it would be over people's yards, etc. here. What an amazing piece of technology.
All right, y'all. It's called the Skydio. It's called the Skydio 2 drone. What do y'all think? That's a bad mama jama. It automatically knows. As long as you got the remote in your hand, it's going to follow that remote. And you can have it go in the front of you. You can have it go behind you, to the left or right of you. And it knows not to hit objects. So you pretty much don't have to worry about it. So you can ride around and have it follow you. And you can focus on riding and not have to worry about hitting nothing. the drone knows not to hit anything. I think that's amazing technology, that the plane knows that you can have it follow you anywhere, and the plane automatically knows, you know? Hold on a sec. Seconds. All right, and we're back. Now, as I was saying, we were doing something, but I see that somebody came into the chat, and they came into the chat offering money. You can't buy your way all the time, okay? You can't buy your way. I asked you to leave me alone. Yet here you are. I was doing my show. Trolls came in defending you. You didn't need to come. Why did you come? Because you need the attention. You need to come. That's why you came. All right, y'all. It's 2 in the morning. I'm supposed to stop at 12. I'll be back on at 9. I'll see y'all at 9 a.m. Peace, everybody. Thanks for watching. As Nia would say, see you soon. As I say, I see you a little bit later on. Thanks for watching the show. I'll see y'all in the morning. We out. Thank you, everybody.